You help me. You help people, right? That's what you do. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. My master has abandoned me, abandoned his people, and nothing I say can change his mind. Now he refuses to even see me. He says I interrupt his vacation. It's been so many years. Won't you please help? Last I saw him, he was visiting a friend in the Blue Palace. But no one as mundane as a Jarl. No, no. Such people are below him. No, he went into the forbidden wing of the palace to speak with an old friend. Said it had been ages since they had last had tea. Oh, and you'll need the hip bone. It's very important. No entering Pelagius's wing without that. Oh, you just don't understand. Without him, I am not free. Without him, I am doomed. All of his empire shall fall into chaos. Without his guidance, our homeland is falling apart. North wages war against South. The holy flame flickers and dies. We need his return. Oh, but I'm sure he'll repay you when he comes to his senses. His favor is a powerful, powerful thing, and so very worth any inconveniences. He stays in the Pelagius wing of the Blue Palace. The doors are locked, and only Falk Firebeard can grant entry. But I hear the maids, Una and Erdi, know how to enter it for cleaning. Surely they could help for such an important matter. He is a great man, but one rarely praised. He rules twin empires that span the length and breadth of our minds. All know him, but few can name him. But he has forbidden me from saying his name. He says it distracts him, and woe to those who draw his ire. But you will know him when you see him. He's the one who made me like this. All right, then.
Arke bless you with a long life, a proud death, and a restful grave.
All my life, I practically grew up in the hall. My father and mother were the priest and priestess of Arke before me, you see. I believe I was put here to protect this place from the darkness that pervades Solitude. This city has a long history of madness and murder. The Wolf Queen, Pelagius, the death of High King Taarie, and now, public executions. My books tell the stories, have no doubt. As pretty as its streets are, as jovial as the bards may be, darkness is drawn to Solitude. You mean Rogver? Yes, I made an appeal to Captain Aldous. He allowed Rogver to have a proper Nord burial, as is the custom in Solitude. May Arke bless you with a long life.
Oh.
kill you! I swear it!
Now it's my turn.
This fight is overrated!
Enough of you! Blood!
I love the challenge!
I'll make you try more. Bleed and die!
I hope there aren't any more.
It's the last time. I wish only to graduate and enroll with the Legion. My drums will lead our troops to victory.
I'm right behind you. How can I serve you, my Thane? Lead on.
Heard they're reforming the Dawnguard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
Are you here to talk about my brother? Do you think his execution was justified? Grogvir. He opened a gate and they executed him for it. He opened a gate and the wrong man rode out of it. If that man hadn't been Ulfric's Stormcloak. If Ulfric hadn't killed High King Torrig. But it was Ulfric. And he did kill the High King in honorable combat. My brother refused to allow the Imperials to take revenge for the deed. So now he's dead. Then like Grogvir, you have a Nord's heart. It's hard for many of the people here to understand. I think Aldous understands. I don't think I could have stayed here if anyone else had... I think I need to be done talking for the moment. I'm not looking for conversation. She did she? She's gonna get a sit-down later. Well, I wish it were that simple. Maybe it is. Look, I want to go back, but I won't feel right in there without a tie to Talos. My brother Rogvir wore a symbol of Talos. He kept it hidden on his person. If I had that, I can't go near his body. Would you get it back for me? Thanks. I should make sure Sfari's okay.
They say if a vampire so much as scratches you, you'll turn into one. Might not be true.
If you want to talk about my brother, I'm not interested. Thanks so much. I'll return to Temple. Here's something for your time and effort. Advar won't sell anything if I don't go and check up on him.
You shouldn't leave Solitude without trying our fish. Best in Skyrim.
Now here's a man I'm glad to see.
Welcome to the Bard's College. I'm the headmaster here. How may I help you? Always a pleasure to meet a prospective bard. You should be aware that many apply, but we accept very few people. When possible, we ask applicants to perform tasks the college needs completed. In this case, I do have a task befitting an aspiring bard. Elisif has forbidden the burning of King Olaf, a festival put on by the Bard's College. We need to change her mind. To convince her, I want to read King Olaf's verse, a part of the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Unfortunately, the verse was lost long ago. Yes, according to Giraud, our history's keeper, the portion of the Edda dealing with King Olaf might still exist in Dead Man's Respite. I need you to retrieve the poem. I think Giraud here would give you the best explanation of both it and the history of King Olaf's verse. You should speak to him about it. As you may be aware, Elisif's husband, High King Taarie, was recently killed. Elisif mourns her husband deeply, and she feels that a festival that burns a king in effigy is distasteful. I tried to convince her the festival is many centuries old and celebrates solitude, but I need proof. I believe King Olaf's verse will provide that proof. Not much, but as a bard I find the whole affair depressing. There are no heroes in this war, no winners to be had, and no real conclusion. If you want something a bard can dig into, look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times, but the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. Not much, to be honest. Their return was a shock to us all. Giraud Gemane has some tomes about them in the library, if you're interested. I wish you luck in finding the verse. I have faith that you'll return with King Olaf's verse. I have faith that you'll return with King Olaf's verse.
I'm Dean of Lute at the Bard's College, and no, I don't give private lessons. It takes two things to be a good teacher. The first is patience. The second is a firm wooden stick for rapping knuckles.
Good to meet a prospective bard. He's sending you after King Olaf's verse, then. That's good. We shouldn't leave it lying around now that I figured out where it is. The verse was Svafnir's contribution to the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Each bard adds to the Edda in his or her time. And a very ancient one. The verse criticized the reigning King Olaf. He was so incensed the bard was put to death and all the copies burned. At least, that's what we thought until I translated some ancient texts a year or so ago. We now believe King Olaf buried the truth with the bard. If I'm right, Svaknir and King Olaf's verse lie in Dead Men's Respite, along with the burial chamber of King Olaf himself. Be careful. You might find more than just King Olaf's verse in Dead Man's Respite.
Meals are served to bards at designated times. Find an inn if you want to make requests. You look a little sturdier than most of the popinjays around here.
Are you... You little... Youngest bard at the Bard's College, at your service. Anything I can do for you, I will.
Citizen?
I swear to you, unnatural magics are coming from that cave. There are strange noises and lights. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Hafengar's people will always be safe under my rule.
Your Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragonbridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction might be called for?
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. But about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Varnius. Good rest easy. You're dismissed.
I've got what I came for. I better get back to Dragonbridge. I've done my part. Dragonbridge will have extra guards. Falk Firebeard will find a way to take care of the cave. All right, then.
Please address all questions to the steward, Falk Firebeard.
Get away from me! If you have business, please see Falk Firebeard, my steward. Because that's what traitorous cowards do when they desire power. Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he deserved it more than Torrig. And so he came before my husband and he shouted. With that terrible voice. Like something out of a legend. Or a nightmare. When Ulfric unleashed such fury, my husband, he simply ceased to be. That is all I will say. For it grieves me to speak of it. Not yet, no. Although it is true my husband Torrig was the High King, and I am his widow. Now is not the time to lay claim to such a title. This land is riven by war, and her people suffer for it. The Stormcloaks are a blight on Skyrim, and like any blight, must be purged. Only then will I take my rightful place as High Queen. A question I am all too familiar with. One my very thanes ask often. They worry that Tullius is so focused on the war that he risks forgetting what's best for our people. The real irony is that, while General Tullius is certainly no Nord, the people of Skyrim would be lost without him. Trust is always difficult, especially for my people. Yet we must trust in Tullius's leadership. For what other choice do we have? It's quite fetching, actually. The craftsmanship is excellent. Oh, really? Well, you can tell them that I will be putting in a request for a few dresses quite soon. Oh, I thought that matter was handled. I think Falk is taking care of that. Be well. Pray for Solitude and my husband.
Do you have business with the court? Oh, right, the rum. Thank you. I developed a taste for it after a fair-weather trip to Hammerfell. Here, this is for you. That remains to be seen. By rights, she has a legitimate claim as High Queen of Skyrim. But we must have the support of the other Jarls for that claim to have any meaning. Should they accept her rule, we will have peace. Of course he does. What sort of a question is that? Maybe you've been listening to Erikur. There's been loose talk among some of the thanes, and I suspect he's the cause of it. You'll pay those rumors no heed if you wish to retain your welcome in this city. She may be young, but Elisif is the Jarl by right. And here in Skyrim, if nothing else, we respect the traditions of our fathers' fathers. You do well to remember that. You mean the Dragonbridge issue? I'll be honest with you, I was planning to let that go. Varnius is a bit jumpy at the best of times. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. Travelers disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work. The cave has a bad history. Long ago, Potema the Wolf Queen used it for necromantic rituals. That's where it got the name. That was over 500 years ago. Nothing much down there now, but everyone's always convinced the cave is haunted. Absolutely not. That wing has been sealed for hundreds of years, and for good reason. They say the ghost of Pelagius the Mad still haunts it. Ghost or not, there are reminders of his dark rule that are best left buried away. Feel free to return to me with questions. The Blue Palace is an open forum.
Don't even think about it.
Thane Bryling, at your service. I can always find time to share a word with a warrior. Many condemn the Stormcloaks, but I refuse. There is honor in fighting for what you believe.
If I needed something from you, you would know it. I was a member of the court during the reign of Toryg's father. It was Toryg who appointed me to the position. Very. I helped raise him. Oh, I could not have been more proud to see Toryg on the throne. He made a fine king, a fine king. I was a member of the court during the reign of Toryg's father. I like to think I've aged well. I'm certainly wiser than I once was, and I know when one should speak, and when one should hold their tongue. I was, to my shame. The whole court was in attendance. I've seen much in my time, but that was a gruesome day. Because Ulfric needed a symbol. Someone he could defeat that represented the Empire. The White Gold Concordat, the banning of Talos worship. Toryg's father Islot had held Skyrim together for nearly 25 years. When he died, Toryg became that symbol. No, even after Islot died, the Moot voted to make Toryg High King of Skyrim. But Ulfric was at that Moot, continually talking about Skyrim's independence in terms just shy of treason. I don't think Ulfric knew how much Toryg respected him for that. If Ulfric had asked Toryg directly to stand up, to declare independence, Toryg might have done it. Because the Dominion is a sleeping beast that Skyrim cannot slay alone. Because many Nords are part of the Imperial Army even now. Because the food and resources we get from the Empire are important to our people. Because even if we can't openly worship him, Talos the God was once Tiber Septim the man, and this is his empire. And Toryg wasn't ready to let it fall apart. I was, to my shame. Ulfric showed up at the gates of Solitude requesting an audience. We thought he was here to ask Toryg to declare independence. By the time we realized Ulfric was here to challenge Toryg, it was already too late. By Nord custom, once the challenge was issued in court, Torg had no choice but to accept. Had he not, Ulfric would have had cause to call a new moot and a new vote for High King. Torg had some martial training, of course, but it mattered little that day. When Ulfric's lips parted, when he unleashed the power of the Thu'um, that shout, that ancient and terrible tongue, ripped Torg asunder. I have no time or patience for a student. Perhaps the College of Winterhold will grant you admission. Nothing. I'm busy, and I don't like being bothered unless I'm expecting something from you. Oh, don't give me that look. Fine, I suppose I can find some menial task to set your mind on. We have something of a vampire problem. Bodies have been found with blood drained. I know of a den nearby you can wipe out as a precaution. I don't expect you to be capable of even that. Vampires are clever hunters. More clever than you, definitely.
Oh, hello. Just tidying up. Oh, I'd get in trouble for that. It's not allowed. Besides, it's scary in there. Well, I suppose in that case it's okay to let you in. But only briefly. Be careful and come right back. Don't mess anything up while you're here. You're as good as... Never should have come here.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. Time.
Jarls come and Jarls go, but a good cook stays for a lifetime, and I'm a very, very good cook. Everyone knows General Tullius wields the real power in Solitude. Elisif? Nah, she's a figurehead, a puppet.
Someday a gallant hero will ride up and take me away. Someday.
Watch your feet. We just clean there. Got lots of things to take care of. What do you need?
Bryling's obsession with honor and tradition is quaint, but politically irrelevant. I'm a Thane. In the future, you may want to gain that information before talking with someone. Risk of looking like an idiot and all that. Oh, most certainly. At least when Elisif herself asks. If you're inquiring whether we have concerns about her age and inexperience, let me put it this way. The Thanes have every confidence in General Tullius's leadership. I must return to the court. They simply can't make do without me.
Unless we have specific business, I'm not interested.
Sybille Stentor has a grasp of magical theory that I would never have expected from a human, even a Breton. No, that honor is Sybille Stentor's. A smart man steers clear of Stentor, and keeps himself out of the dungeon when she's having a bad day. Let's just say that the headsman's axe may not be the worst way for a Solitude jail prisoner to die. Look at that. I've told you to watch your tongue, and mine is waggling. I've said enough. I make sure Erikur keeps breathing. Oh, I think you'll find that magic is rare in Skyrim. Winterhold, though, the college there has it in abundance. Look there if you wish to learn. You are free to leave.
What do you need?
You can afford a
Need something? That's wonderful. You've done us a great service. As promised, the outfit is yours. And here's something for your trouble. Remember radiant raiment when you need a change of attire.
If
if those Whiterun guards can take down a dragon, so can we.
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Bolgeir.
Balgruf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General.
You people and your damn Jarls.
Sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir.
Spire Manor. Now there's a fine home. Up for sale, too. If you're interested, talk to the steward in the keep.
You won't get anything out of me, you filthy sons of workers.
Mind yourself in my city, friend. This here axe in full swing is a right terrible sight. You wouldn't be a sellsword, would you? I have a little problem you could solve. I'm the headsman here in Solitude. It's my job. Depends on what you mean by busy. I'm also the head jailer in the dungeon here. Quiet job, usually.
Never.
Ain't got one. But I'd fancy a chance at that Jari Ra's scrawny neck. Filthy Argonia never would have set foot in this city if High King Torygg was still alive. I can tell you that. Keep your head about you. You stay out of trouble now. The Castle Dower dungeon can break even the strongest will.
If you need potions, head over to Angeline's Aromatics. You're the one casts those illusions. Impressive.
You won't get anything out of me, you filthy sons of workers.
Here Everything all right? Don't think you can barter with me like I'm one of those damn shopkeepers.
Need a ride? Solitude's been the capital of Skyrim as long as I can remember. Most of the High Kings of Skyrim were Jarls of Solitude first. Well, let's see, what else? The Bard's College is here, and the main office of the East Empire Company. If you need it, you can get a room for a fair price at the Rankin Skeever, just inside the main gate. See ya.
You probably want someone else. I'm just the stable boy. I hate it. Everyone feels sorry for me, so they don't treat me too bad, but... Both my parents were in the Legion. There was an ambush. Keller said she'd feed me if I could make myself useful. I'd take care of the animals, run errands, that kind of thing. I guess it could be worse, but I'm sick of sleeping outside with the horses. I want a real home, real parents, not this. Both my parents were in the Legion. There was an ambush. Keller said she'd feed me if I could make myself useful. I'd take care of the animals, run errands, that kind of thing. I guess it could be worse, but I'm sick of sleeping outside with the horses. I want a real home, real parents, not this. All right, then.
We could always use help picking crops if you need a few extra coins. Can I help you? Honest pay for honest work. Until next time. Watch what you're doing. Don't even think about it.
Oh, hello. Have a seat, will you? I was a much younger man when I married Katla. Now I can hardly keep up with her.
You're a guest. And Father says we have to be polite to guests. Mama said I could help with the goats.
My brothers would have been appalled to see a man outdone by his wife, but not me. Without Katla, this farm would fall apart.
Is this about the stables? My husband Geimund handles the business. I really don't mean to be rude, but I don't think there's much I can help you with.
You got business at the stables? Been about 8 years now. I used to be a mercenary, but one trip to Ravenscar Hollow sure did that. There's hag ravens in that cave with talons like daggers. To open your bells quick as you wink if you let them get close. A creature like that'll make a man think long and hard about what he wants out of life. If you're heading up to Solitude, you should stop to check out the view on the way. It's a good one.
Is this about the stables? My husband Geimund handles the business. I really don't mean to be rude, but I don't think there's much I can help you with. Never should have.
Looking for a horse? You'll want to talk to my father, Geimund. I grew up tending some of these horses. They're almost family.
You talk to Ed Brothers. Deja has no words for you.
Watch the skies, traveler.
Sorry, I was lost in thought. I'm planning my wedding, you see. So many details to work out. Ah, yes. If she wants to pay the 2,000 gold tariff, then we'll be all set. I suppose I could make an exception. I do like her spiced wine. Fine. Tell Yvette's son her shipment will be brought up to Solitude shortly. Never should have come. Never should have come. Never should have come. Some say I got my position because my cousin is the Emperor. Nonsense. The man's given me nothing. He can't even be bothered to...
I believe you know what needs to be done. Something about putting out a fire.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken dwarves. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
Looking to hire a boat? Mm-hmm.
You'd better have a damn good reason for being here. It takes a brave soul to wander onto my deck. It'll take more than that to leave in one piece.
You reek.
A little friendly advice. Take a bath and get some new clothes.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Whatever you're about to say.
Hola, Legagan.
Please, take pity on an old madman.
Wanderer like you needs a little fire in the veins. Some spiced wine? I swear, I left another bottle right here. Thank you so much. I swear it's a fight with them every shipment. Here's something for your troubles. Oh, very brisk. When the snow sets in, even the hardiest Nord needs some spiced wine to warm the blood. Good luck out there. Seems like a tough time to be wandering Skyrim.
Heard about you and your honeyed words.